Hello again, everybody. I'm Snapper Lancaster, welcoming you to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. Well, folks, we got a special show lined up for you tonight because one of our guests is going to be a high school basketball coach that won his second state championship in a row, and we've just now been able to get him and some of his players together to sort of celebrate the fact that they won their second championship in a row. So we look forward to that. And I'm going to tease you just a little bit. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You're going to have to come back and watch. Then we're also going to have an outstanding baseball coach. It's going to be from an area we haven't had guests from before. It's a little bit further away, but we worked it out where this high school could come. And so we look forward to having this coach and some of his players, and they'll be on with us a little bit later. And as we always talk about, this is the time of year when all of these sports, spring sports, are getting into their championship series where they're going for that championship run. You've got baseball, you got softball, you got boys and girls golf, boys and girls tennis, and soccer, and you've got track. All of these sports that have boys and girls participating in, all of them are out there trying to win a state championship in a sport that they dearly love competing in. So that's the show we got ahead of you for you. Of course, like I said, outstanding basketball coach, championship team, outstanding baseball coach from an area we haven't had thus far in my whole career that I've done this program. So we look forward to that. And as always, like we want to tell you real quickly, always use our sponsors, because if you don't figure our sponsors, we wouldn't be on, and thank goodness they're there. So, you know, it's time for us to go and get a show started. It's that time of year. Snapper's ready, or y'all? We'll be right back.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their number one objective.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
And folks, welcome back. As you can see, I've gotten our first guest of the evening. We talked about him in the opening, one of the most successful basketball coaches, not only in the Birmingham, Jefferson County area, but the state of Alabama, and I should dare say, maybe in the Southeastern. Of course, we're talking about 7A championship coach Bucky McMillan of the Mountain Brook Spartans. And Coach, once again, congratulations. And does it ever get old?
Never gets old. We're here on this show, always a good thing, right?
Well, we like to think so, because we try to reward as many coaches and athletes as we can by recognizing their championship on our program. And Coach, you've had a super successful 10 years there at Mountain Brook. You've got your fourth championship. I think we've said you played for about, what, 5 or 6 of them?
We played for 5.
And I'm telling you, the thing that's always amazed me is the style of basketball that you play. And you and I talked about it earlier, because I want you to talk about it a little bit where you can say what you want to, and us not delve too much into it. But your background, you went to Mountain Brook, played basketball there as well as other sports, and then also the Birmingham Southern. And when you were there playing your college ball there at Birmingham Southern, Bucky, in the back of your mind, had you already had grandeur thoughts of maybe being a high school coach one day, or was that what you were aiming for?
Yeah, I knew I wanted to coach, and I remember I was with someone in high school, and I said, that's kind of what I was going to do. And I said, I know I'm going to go back and I'm going to coach Mountain Brook basketball. And so I had a good idea of that. I grew up in Mountain Brook, and when I came through in Mountain Brook when I was younger, basketball was not extremely popular. And it's great to see how much, it's great to have that we've had success, but it's really great to see how popular the sport is now in our city. And that makes me happy because, I was a kid growing up there.
Right.
So it's truly special to me.
And the one thing that, and Bucky and I have talked off camera and had other conversations, and the one thing that's always been a mystery to me, Bucky, is why your style of basketball, because I haven't seen a lot of it. I think when we talked earlier, I had told you about at Arkansas back in the 70s and 60s and 70s and 80s when Nolan Richardson was there, they played a similar game. And what I mean by that is there was, the only way I know how to describe your basketball team and your style is it's 32 minutes of heck. In other words, there's pressure from the time you tip off to the time that the game is over, and there's a reason for all that. Where in the back of your mind did you come up with that concept? Because nobody has mastered it like you have.
Well, I grew up, I was a point guard, and I don't think people can truly appreciate pressure unless you are a point guard. Because, so for a big guy who gets to just go the other end of the floor, let the point guard handle pressure, they might not understand the effects it can have on another team. So I always said if I coached, we would use our whole team to pressure the other team, be able to play more players, and, it's a fun style to play. Be the aggressor in the game. And that's kind of what we know, and that's what we do. And it's been fun because when we go into a game, even though they know that we're going to pressure and they know who we are, we have a real identity when it comes, especially to elimination games, of being the aggressor. And that's always fun when your life's on the line to go out there and know that you're going to be attacking.
Right. Well, I tell you what, you've been super successful at it, and I guarantee you it's fun to watch. And one more question along the basketball lines. Have you ever had any thought of trying to coach at the next level, or are you perfectly content where Bucky McMillan is right now?
Well, there's some opportunities at the next level that, that make you see things and you say, oh, that would be fun. But, I'm having a lot of fun where I am right now. And it's a special place, my home. So for me to ever leave my home, it'd have to be something truly, truly special.
Right. Well, I tell you, I look forward to seeing you continue coaching for a number of years. And one thing about it, to have a successful team like that, you've not only got to have good athletes, but you've got to have athletes that have good minds and are willing to pay the price on both ends of the floor. And sometimes it's not all physical, there's a lot of mental to it. And that leads us into this segment you and I were talking about earlier, and I want you to talk about your kids in particular. You have some fantastic, knowledgeable, smart kids that have gotten a fantastic education thus far at Mountain Brook, and the numbers you told me today are just almost mind-boggling. Share with our viewers about what your players have done in the classroom, which if they don't qualify there, they don't get to the basketball court anyway.
Absolutely. We've had a great run this year, but you always look, when a team's successful, an organization's successful, you look for great leadership. And we had 4 seniors on our team this year that were, it's unparalleled what they did in the classroom. Of our 4 seniors, we had 3 of those guys were in the National Honor Society. 2 of those guys are in Division I athletic scholarships. 2 of those guys were Eagle Scouts. One scored a 35 on the ACT. Another one scored a 35 on the ACT. One scored a 34 on the ACT. One had a 4.53 GPA this year. One had a 4.37 GPA this year. One had a 4.1 GPA this year. 2 were National Merit finalists. One won the entire Bryant Jordan Scholar Athlete Award. And then we had one who was a My 6 State Scholar Athlete of the Year. That was 4 seniors. 4. You could find a whole school and you couldn't come up with that. That's pretty remarkable leadership right there.
Well, I tell you what, it also says a lot for the academics of your school.
Absolutely.
I mean, that it's a high mark. Kids are expected to perform at that level. And you know as well as I do, from that standpoint, sometimes it's easy to be an athlete because we love playing. It's not as easy to be a scholar because we don't love studying as much as we ought to. But your school and what they have done, that's really just a compliment from the top to the bottom. And I know this year, another successful year, the thing about it, you've got a lot of quality players coming back next year. What do you project or do you expect this same kind of production to a degree, or if not, another championship next year?
Well, it's definitely a possibility. I think the biggest challenge for next year, I talked about those 4 seniors we lost, and that leadership is going to be who's going to come forward and be the leaders and give that example every day like those 4 seniors did. We got some good players coming back. Can't do it without leadership. I think we're going to be able to develop that leadership. I think new guys will step up because I mentioned those 4 seniors. There's also some great guys athletically and academically who are younger as well, and hopefully those guys are going to take the reins going forward.
Well, I tell you what, Bucky, once again, congratulations on another fantastic year. Congratulations on your championship. It's gotten to where, and this is bad for you, but yet it's also probably a personal challenge to you too. We're becoming to expect it, and you do it, but it takes you and it takes the team and it takes that dedication from everybody. But once again, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
And continued success at Mountain Brook.
Yes, sir.
We're going to take a quick break. 4 young men, very instrumental in another state championship by those Mountain Brook Spartans. We'll be right back. The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their #1 objective.
At Andrew Sports Medicine, we partner with our patients, trying to help them overcome the obstacles that keep them from achieving their goals.
This practice aggressively pursues victory over injury, over pain, over limitation, over anything that's going to keep you from being the best you can be.
It starts with our non-surgical physicians who are trained in sports medicine and orthopedic injuries. We have specialists in sports medicine, shoulders, elbows, and knees. We have hip specialists that do only hip surgery, including arthroscopy, minimally invasive resurfacing, and total hip replacement if needed. We have joint replacement surgeons. We have spine surgeons. We have surgeons that specialize in foot and ankle surgery and in hand surgery. So just about all the specialties of orthopedics are covered at Andrew Sports Medicine.
What makes the great surgeons great is their volume of experience at making decisions, whether that's intraoperative decisions, post-operative decisions, pre-operative decisions, the decision to operate on somebody or not operate on them. And so our volume here breeds good decision making. That gives us an edge in terms of making decisions for our patients, which ultimately is a lot of times the difference between success and failure. The teams, the players, the parents have confidence in us because they know we're going to communicate with them. We're going to create a plan unique to that athlete or that person, and we're going to get them back to their thing and as quickly and as safely as we can.
At Andrew Sports Medicine, our mission is to partner with our patients and to help them succeed and achieve victory. Whether you're a weekend warrior, a grandparent with a shoulder problem, or a professional athlete, you get the same care, the same high-level technology, the same aggressiveness that we would in a professional athlete, and we treat everyone the same way. None of us like to lose. We're all very competitive, and we're not going to lose against their illness or their injury.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. Now, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
welcome back. As you can tell, I got 4 outstanding young athletes here. Championship Mountain Brook basketball players, and boy, what a show they put on this past season at the tournament. And we're talking with Trendon Watford, a junior forward, and then Alex Washington, also a junior and a guard, Britton Johnson, a senior guard, and finally William Lineberry, senior or forward. Okay, as we get into this conversation, guys, now, people like me that's in the media, when I think Mountain Brook basketball, I think winners. And what I mean by that, not win, you win, I mean championship winners. Y'all are beginning to make it almost look easy, and y'all know it, and I know it, it's not. You worked very hard, and boy, what an outstanding season you had. And with that thought in mind, Trendon, going into this year, you came off of championship last year. What was your expectations for yourself and for the team?
For the team, well, we were still motivated. You know, we wanted to still have the same feeling that we had the previous year. So, you know, that was our biggest, motivation this year. You know, just wanting to, repeat, and that was pretty much our view. Okay.
Now, Alex, being a junior, did it surprise you at all, the success you had? I know you probably felt like you were going to be successful, but being successful and winning championships is 2 different things. What did you expect for you this year and the team as well?
Well, I expected us to just go out there and play as hard as we can every game, because we work as hard as we can to prepare for that, and I just wanted to help my team more and more like this year. So.
Well, let me ask you a question. I know you guys play basketball a lot, but till you got to high school playing for Bucky McMillan, and when you were in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade, did you have any idea the kind of ball you would be playing end to end every single second of the game?
No, I have no idea.
Is that something that y'all like? It's a challenge. One thing about it, a lot of you play, and you don't have to play a long time because he expects you to wear yourself out while you're out there, right? So, Trendon, can you imagine yourself playing in any other kind of situation after playing like this?
Honestly, probably not. We play so hard for the whole 32 minutes, so it's eventually, it's pretty fun. All of us enjoy it, and it's just pretty fun playing like that.
Now, Britton, being a senior, a guard, there's a lot of leadership expected out of you, not only the seniors but the underclassmen as well. How do you handle that task? You're a senior and there's senior leadership there. Did you look forward to that challenge?
Yes, sir. We had some great seniors the previous year that did a great job leading us, and obviously we won the year before. So we really came in this year with a goal to reach our fullest potential, and we knew that we had to all step up as leaders in order to do that.
And as you were growing up at a younger age, like I was asking Trendon, did you ever envision you'd be playing in a system where it's non-stop? When we're playing in other systems, you get a breather here and there, even on the floor, but not in y'all's situation.
No, sir. I could never imagine playing in a system like what we played in. It's a lot of fun, though.
Well, I know you, and you have to play hard the whole time. Do y'all look forward for the time when the coach hollers, hey, you can come sit down, we're going to put somebody else in there before you can get a break?
There are times when you play 2, 3, 4 minutes, and it's been an up-and-down game, and you get really tired, but it's never like, oh, I really want to come out. It's more just like, I don't know, it's next man up, and you'll just be ready to go next time you get your name called.
Okay, now William, you being a senior too and a forward, is that power forward? Are you a big scorer? Are you supposed to be that inside presence?
Just kind of playing off Trendon. Trendon's such a big role in the offense, but do what I can, rebounds, score when I need to.
Yeah, well that's good. I mean, do you have, for a big man, do you have a shot that when you get the opportunity to get it, that's the one you're going to take?
If I get an open shot, I'm going to take it, definitely. So, I mean, it's not like what I'm looking for when I'm playing, but if I have it, then yeah.
All right, now guys, now this question, we've all been athletes. Now, I was an athlete 50 years ago, believe it or not, guys. I played a little basketball too, but I never played it like y'all do. I'll be honest with you. But when you go out there on the floor, do you feel pressure more? And we'll start with you, William. Do you feel more pressure at home to win, or is there more pressure on the road? A lot of guys feel like it's easier to play on the road because you don't have all those home people there that you're wanting to win for.
That's a tough question. Well, last year we lost to Spin Park at home, which was a terrible loss. Broke the long streak we had at home. So honestly, I'd probably have to go with home because that's ours. That's our court. We want to defend it.
Right.
So we want to go in there every game looking for a win.
Britton, how about you? How do you feel about it?
I
Is
feel
less
like
pressure
there's-
on the road or more pressure at home?
We never really focus on, who's in the crowd or whatever. We really focus on, the 13 guys in the huddle at the end of the day. And so we try to keep the external factors from affecting us in the game.
Okay, that makes sense too. How about you, Alex?
Yeah, I would agree with Britton. We try to play for each other and not for who's in the crowd. So
Okay,
yeah, we don't really
good,
feel much
good.
pressure when we do that.
All right, big guy. Well, how do you feel about that?
I'll just piggyback off of them. Before we even step out on the court, we just, we don't really focus on winning. We just try to play as hard as we can for the 32, and everything else should just fall in place.
Okay. All right, let me ask you this question then. We all have been athletes, and y'all are athletes. Athletes are funny. We have superstitions, things we feel like we need to do repetitively to be the best we can be with that thought. So with that thought in mind, Trendon, do you have any superstitions, or does that not enter your mind at all?
I'm not. I know a few guys on our team that's like that, but I'm not really like that though.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm not going to press you to be something you're not. Alex, how about you?
No, not really. I mean, I usually listen to the same song before the game, but that's
Right.
good luck.
Yeah, and if you're winning, you definitely listen to that song, right? Okay, Britton, how about you?
I'm not usually the most superstitious person, but this year when we started on our little winning streak in the back half of the year, I used the same soap before every game, and then right before the Final Four, my mom threw it out. And so I was a little worried for a second, but
Yeah.
it ended up working out just fine.
Well, then let me tell you, Mom knew what she was doing. Let me tell you why. Regardless of what we think it is that's going to help us, it's really us and that gets
yes,
it
sir,
done,
absolutely.
right? So
And I knew
she
that.
was right from that standpoint. How about you, William?
Like Alex said, listen to a little bit of music, get myself motivated. But got to give a shout out to my man, Big Garrett. Get a good partner stretch in before the game, get me ready. So
Well,
that's
you
pretty
got to
much
have
it.
that partner. That's right. All right. Well, let me ask you about this. Do you have any hobbies? That's a whole different thing. I look at athletes and I say, look, you worked hard all week on the field, and then in y'all's case on the court, and in the classroom. But you got to do something to unwind and stay loose. And we'll start with you, William. How do you come down from all that?
Yes, sir. In the free time, I like playing a little bit of Fortnite with these guys right here. It's a pretty fun game out right now, beating up on them.
Yeah,
On the court,
it's more
Xbox,
funner
so,
than
yeah.
the game. It's not as fun as beating up on them, is it?
Yes, sir.
How about you, Britton?
I gotta say I love playing fantasy football in the fall.
Really?
It's one of my favorite hobbies, and
Yeah.
we got a really competitive league. William's in my league.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we,
you think
we
you
really
might
go at it.
You think you might want to be a coach someday?
Yes.
I don't know about that. His team was 0 wins.
Yeah, 0.
Hey, I did not come in last. That's all that matters.
Okay. How about you, Alex?
Fortnite for sure.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of Fortnite.
Oh, okay. And Trent?
Yeah, pretty much Fortnite with the boys. We'll go out. We'll pretty much hang every night with during basketball season, but Fortnite definitely.
Well, let me tell you, the bad news for the team is you two guys are graduating, right? The good news, you two guys are coming back. One, congratulations on your second championship in a
Thank you.
row. Two, hopefully you guys come back. I know you're going to work for that third one. But the last question I got, we'll end the interview with this one. Trendon, to this point in your young life, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
Probably my parents. Probably my family.
Okay. How about you, Alex?
Definitely my parents. They've instilled a lot in me, so definitely my parents.
Okay, good for you. Britton?
I go with my parents, and then the coaches, and Coach Bucky being one of them. He's definitely up there.
Good for you. William?
I agree with BJ. Definitely my family, and obviously the coaches pushing us to get to where we've been through today.
Well, I tell you what, guys, once again, congratulations.
Hey.
Back-to-back championships. Y'all have something you can tell people the rest of your life, because not a whole lot of people get to do it. And good luck to you guys as you head off to college. And good luck to you guys next year as you try to three-peat, okay?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Folks, we're going to take a quick break. We come back, different coach, different sport, different players. We'll be right back. Don't forget.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gurdeau in Trussville today.
And folks, welcome back. And as you can tell, we've got a new coach up here. We've got a different sport. And this time we'll be talking to a coach I haven't seen, and there's not a lot of them I hadn't seen in my 20-year career, but this is one, and we got word that I met a gentleman that put me in contact with a coach and wondered if I'd love to have them on. And I said, absolutely, if it's not too far for them to come. We're talking about Coach Mike Burkett of Southeastern. I call it high school. Is
That's
that
correct.
the right term?
Either term is acceptable.
Okay.
We're a unit school, kindergarten through 12,
Okay.
and so it's referred officially as Southeastern School. But of course, for the high school, we say
Right.
Southeastern High
Well,
School.
Coach, first of all, I'm awfully glad to have you, and I was tickled to death that through the way that we got together, because I've had 2 or 3 coaches in those 20 years come from a pretty good distance, and that's the only reason I don't have other coaches, because I know of the time constraints and the travel. But I've known some people up in that area, and so from that standpoint, I was awfully glad to get to have you come on, but also just because y'all were interested in coming, and so I'm glad to be able to do that. Well, coaches, we get this interview started. Tell me a little bit about your background and what's had led you to be the coach here at Southeastern.
Okay, I was born and raised in Birmingham and attended Mortimer Jordan High School. Went on a football scholarship to play for Coach Bobby Johns at West Alabama, and finished 4 years there, and then went to Mobile at Cottage Hill Christian, and moved over to Jackson, Mississippi, and worked at Canton Academy for 7 years. And my mother became fairly ill, and my wife and I moved back to Birmingham. I worked at Chelsea High School for a year, and then also Gardendale High School for 2 years. And in 2014, I was fortunate enough to be named both head football and head baseball coach at Southeastern School, which is located in Remlap. That's about 10 miles north of Pinson Valley High School and about 10 miles south of Aniana High School, for those of you who don't know where it is.
Right, yeah, and it's one of those places that people probably, once you tell where it is, they realize, oh, that's where that is.
It's a beautiful campus, and I had seen the school for several decades. When I was a young man playing baseball in Dizzy Dean and later on American Legion, we would always play Aniana. I was on a team from Morris, and we would drive up Highway 75, and there was always this little elementary school that was there. And in 2010, the Blount County Board of Education voted to extend the school 1 grade per year, and so we had our first senior class in 2015.
Wow. Well, now let's talk a little bit about this year's team. What kind of season have you had? The playoffs are upon you, right?
That's correct.
You guys are in.
Yes, sir.
And so who y'all have in the first round?
The first round, we were fortunate this year through some hard work and talent. We were able to actually win the area championship against Coosa, who's ranked in the state. And so that was a big win, a big series win for us. But we will host Donahoe School, which is located in Anniston. And we're excited about that. The people of Remlap are excited about that. We've done a lot of work on our field and got it in tip-top shape, and we're just really excited to be able to host the playoffs this year. Our school has made the playoffs every year that we've existed.
That's terrific.
So this is our 6th straight year to be in the state playoffs, but this is only the 2nd time that we've been able to host the first round, and I know that our boys you're going to talk to here in a few moments, they're very excited to be able to host.
Well, I understand that, being an ex-athlete many years ago. When you can make it into the playoffs, it's always exciting, because you can't win that championship unless you get in the playoffs and play that first game.
And that's absolutely right. Every school has the dream and the goal to win the championship at the end. And I told the seniors, you've got 2 seniors and 1 junior here tonight, but I told the seniors when they were freshmen it would be a championship class, and they've proven that to be true. And we're just really excited to be in the bracket that we're in, and again to be hosting playoffs in Remlap.
Well, coaches, as we continue to talk about your team, we want to find out a little bit about them in particular, and so we'll ask you to comment on the 3 areas. And of course, we're talking about your pitching staff, your defense, and your offensive output. Characterize your team.
Yes, sir. Our pitching staff is really quite terrific for a 1A school. We're not a typical 1A school. We like to play teams like Mortimer Jordan, who you had a few weeks ago. We've played Clay Chalkville. We play St. Clair County. We play Leeds. We've played Minor. We like to play schools that are bigger than us. And early in the year, our record is not very impressive.
Right.
We are a 1A school, and so we're not going to have all the athletes that those teams that we play have, but we have a fantastic pitching staff. 3 of our best pitchers are here tonight. Bailey Boak is a senior, Seth Wadsworth is a senior, and Albert Tenney is a junior. And to put those together on a single 1A team is unlike really any other 1A team that I've seen. If we hit the baseball and play defense like I know that we can, we've got a really good shot to make it to the second round.
Well, and as any coach will tell you this, I think in almost any sport, you play and hope that your team peaks just before playoffs. Don't wait till the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
But you got it, because you can't guarantee you're going to play well in that first game, which is, they're all important. Win and you're in, lose and you're out. It's pretty simple. But having said that, talk about your team. Do you think they're peaking at the right time?
Absolutely, and quite honestly, I'm not trying to give away baseball secrets here, but I've set the schedule up that way. The schedule that we played my first year was set up by the previous coach.
Right.
But the last 3 years, I've set the schedule up, and I've set it up in such a way that we play those teams, Clay Chalkville and Mortimer Jordan and St. Clair and Leeds and those type schools. We play them early in the year,
right,
so that when we get to area play, there's no surprises. There's no pitcher on our area opponents' pitching staff that we haven't already seen just by playing bigger and much bigger schools. And so we usually start out, something like 2-6 or 4-8 or what have you, and we're really ready for area play by the time it rolls around. Last year, for example, we started out 0-7, but we were playing some really tough competition and losing some close ball games to some of those bigger schools, and that toughens us up, and it helps us see good pitching, and it also forces us to play good defense if we're going to compete. And so this year, we didn't start off quite that slow. We were able to actually win the first game of the year for the first time since I've been there, and then we kind of fell off playing some of those tougher schools. We played in the Chocolaco Classic over in Oxford and played some really tough competition over there. But again, we were ready for Appalachian, we were ready for Coosa Christian because of those tough schools, and we're playing really good defense right now. We actually swapped Bailey and our left fielder, Dalton Huffstutler, with our second baseman, who's Bailey, and moved Bailey to center field and moved our center fielder, Brody Dobbins, to left field. And that one little triangular move has really made the biggest difference for us defensively. We've started to gel a little bit, and really proud of our catcher, Mitchell Young, who not only is fairly good at blocking the baseball, but he's thrown out at least 8, I couldn't quite remember the number, but I know it's at least 18 runners this year.
Wow.
Some of those, of course, are back picks and not just trying to steal second or third, but that's really been a huge weapon for us to have a catcher that throws base runners out.
Well, I tell you what, you sound like you have the same philosophy I do. I believe there is such a thing as a good loss. You play tough competition, you don't get blown out, but you play close or whatever, sooner or later, it seems like you upgrade what you can do. And it sounds like from what you're saying, your team is peaking at the right time. That's what every coach wants. And so it's been a pleasure to meet you. I'm glad you and the guys had a chance to come down. I wish you all the luck in the playoffs. I tell you what, I'll say it this way, you get lucky and win the championship, we'll do our best to have you down here to celebrate it, okay?
We'd love to come back.
But Coach, good to meet you, and good luck to you and your players in the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to visit with 3 young men very instrumental in the successful year thus far that Southeastern's had. We'll be right back.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, And the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. Now, are we going to have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their #1 objective. And folks, welcome back. As you can see, I got 3 outstanding young athletes sitting here with me. Closest, Bailey Bonk, senior, and your pitcher, outfielder. Then Seth Wadsworth, the senior, shortstop, pitcher. And Albert Tenney, the only junior here, pitcher and an outfielder. Now, guys, that describing you there tells me one thing. All 3 of you can throw the ball if you're all pitching, so that's great. Bailey, heading into this senior season for you, what were their expectations for you personally and also for your teammates?
Well, coming into the season, working out hard in the summer, I felt like we had the strongest, the fastest baseball team we've ever had, and plus all the talent we have on our team. I don't think we've ever had as much talent as we've had, or we have this year, and I expect to go at least to the second or third round of the playoffs.
So do you feel like, I asked the coach about this, but do you feel like that you and your teammates are playing your best baseball right now?
Most definitely. We played a game last night, and everybody was hitting the ball just great, and we were playing good defense, and we ended up having a big win against a team we've never beat before.
So y'all's first round game is what, Friday?
Yes.
Is it a Friday night, Friday afternoon?
It's first one starts at 4, the second one starts at 7.
Okay, well let me ask you this too. I know you're a pitcher, outfielder on the baseball team. You play any other sports?
I play basketball.
Really? What position?
I'm point guard.
Now I don't want to put you on the spot. Coach is not out here. Which sport do you like the most?
Baseball.
I hear you. We got a politician here, and that's all right. That's what you do. Seth, the senior as well, shortstop, pitcher. Which one do you prefer, pitching or playing shortstop?
Shortstop, most definitely.
Really?
I've grown up playing, so.
Okay, now be honest with me. As honest as we can be. You're a better hitter or better fielder?
Better fielder.
Really? Well, that's all right. You know what? A better fielder is a pitcher's best friend, and all of you being pitchers understand that. Does it surprise you, the success you guys have had this year?
No, sir. I knew from the start that we had a good team, and I've always felt like we should go to the state championship game this year. I feel like we have enough talent too.
Well, now I ask you the same question because I'm curious. In a smaller school, most of the time you do, but there are exceptions. Do you play any other sport?
Yes, sir. Basketball and football.
Oh, basketball and football.
Yes,
what
sir.
position on football?
Quarterback.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I had to guess, I know you ain't gonna believe me, but I would have said, was you the quarterback? Don't ask me why. Shortstop, quarterback. That's sort of right. Okay. And Albert Tenney, of course, you're the only junior here, pitcher, outfielder. Now, you're a good-sized youngster, and here's why I'm asking you that. Which do you like most, playing the outfield or pitching?
I love to pitch, sir.
Are you a power pitcher?
I try to be.
Are you one of these guys you don't have no problem brushing somebody back? You got a gleam in your eye now, Albert. But actually, now let me ask you this too. Being a pitcher, don't mind throwing inside. That doesn't mean you want to hit somebody. It just means you don't want nobody to dig in on you and take that part of the plate away from you. And any doubt you can put in a hitter's mind, that's what we call advantage pitchers, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the other guys are play more than one sport. How about you?
This is my first year to be a single sport athlete.
Really? What did you play before?
I played football and basketball.
Yeah.
Freshman year was basketball, and then football my freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah. So you just chose this to be the one you're going to concentrate on the most? Is
Yes.
the one you love the most or feel
yes,
like
sir.
you're best at?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, going into this year, coming off last year, did you think that y'all had the potential to do what you've done so far?
After seeing last year and that we were going to come back and be almost just as strong at a full roster, and that we were going to be able to come back and show our stuff.
Well, we're good. Well, now listen. Now, I was an athlete one time. Now, that was 50 years ago, so don't expect me to look like one now. but I was. And even back then, we athletes had superstitions. We did something, we felt like we had to do it the same way or dress the same way or whatever. But so you get the general idea of the question I'm going to ask. We'll start with you, Bailey. Do you have any significant superstitions that you practice?
I do. Seth is my throwing buddy, and every time he gets lined and I get out in the field, and before every game we say the Lord's Prayer, and we started that this season, and it stuck. We won that game. It stuck with us ever since.
Well, let me tell you this, and boy, believe me, no respect for you, Lord. We can pray to the Lord to help us and all that kind of thing, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm not sure it works. Let me tell you what does work. The God-given ability that the Lord has given you.
Yes,
and
sir.
if you exercise that, you're going to have the good luck.
Yes, sir.
How about you, Seth?
Same as Bailey. Me and him always got to throw before every game. We've always done it since freshman year. So.
Do you sort of frown at the others? One of them drops the throw.
No, we're kind of used to each other by now, so
okay.
we just kind of brush it off and go along with it.
Okay. How about you, Albert?
Well, there's a couple of things I like to do. Before the game, I like to eat a Cliff Bar and drink a green tea. And then during the game, I like to keep my glove in my bag, and I don't let it. I zip my bag up and everything, leave my glove in there until we go back out on defense.
Yeah. Albert, you know what we call you? Strange. No, I'm kidding. But guys, let me tell you what. I know y'all are 2 and 3 sports stars and single sports stars, which is terrific. Now, here's the thing about it. In order to be that star in whatever sport it is, we know you're good at sports, okay? You have to qualify in the classroom, right? So that means you're good in the classroom. We have a lot of pressure on this. We have a lot of pressure on this. Now, what do you guys do, and we'll start with you, Bailey, to unwind and loosen up and just relax during that tough week? Those 7-day weeks are tough during your seasons.
Well, really, I like to live in the weight room. And when I was having a tough day at school, I had a tough day at baseball practice, go in there in the weight room, just let everything out, and then get a good night's sleep.
Well, the one reason you got to let everything out and hopefully get your good night's sleep, you know good and well them weights are going to win, don't you? You just try to beat them as much as you can. Seth, how about you?
Every day we go after practice or a game, we go and work out, so that gets stress out, and then go home and just listen to some music, lay down, just relax. That's about it.
What's your favorite music?
I like rap personally.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Well, personally, I'm not going to ask you another question.
Yes, sir. That's what most people say.
I don't
now,
mean this ugly. I know this much
Yes,
about
sir.
rap because I can't understand where they're coming from. But maybe that's the age
sir.
difference. What are you, 16, 17?
17.
17. Well, I'm 72, so you understand where I'm coming from, okay? But hey, I don't blame. Whatever works.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm smooth country myself, but we might have some rock and rollers here too, you know. How about you, Albert?
Well, at nighttime, I have a routine where I like to do my push-ups, and that kind of like winds my day down, and that's when I think about things and process over things.
Well, you know, that's the beauty of having different habits, because everybody does something different, but it's something that they hope, as long as it works for them. And if whether it works that much physically, I think up here's where it might work just as much. And as long as that's the case, then you're doing what you need to do. Now, I asked the coach this, and you feel the same way, I believe. You playing your best baseball, you said, right now. So you expect to make some noise in the playoffs, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, guys, I hope you do too. It sounds like you've had a good career so far, but there's nothing like topping off a season or a career with a championship.
Yes, sir.
All y'all got to do is win those few games it takes, and if y'all win a championship, you'll get to come here twice, because I'll tell the coach, bring them here, bring that trophy, and we'll celebrate together,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Yes, sir.
So I wish you all the luck in the world. Last question I got, and we'll start with you, Bailey. At this point in your young life, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
Probably my mom. She's been there through everything, and she supports me in baseball. Everything I need for baseball, she's got it for me.
Mom's always got our back, doesn't she?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how about you, Seth?
It's my dad. He's coached me every sport I've ever played, and he's just always been there to help me out whatever I need.
And that's special when you've got a parent that can help you in that way in something you dearly love, right?
Yes,
Albert, how about you?
My dad, definitely. He's always been there to say the right thing at the right time.
Right. Well, we wouldn't have it any other way. Guys, once again, good luck to you. And I hope you have so much luck you win it all, okay? Because if you do, we'll get back together again, okay?
Definitely.
Folks, we've had another great show, outstanding athletes, outstanding coaches. We'll do it again next week. Till then, you know what the snapper always says. Bye.